Hi.
Hello, welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. My name is Jason. I am joined tonight by fucking go for it.
Fuck, dude.
I went for it. I have no other people in the screen with me, but I am joined today by Selwyn, or the yellow shirt. Max made Selwyn wear a shirt that wasn't black.
Oh,
so
dude,
Selwyn
like you look
podcast.
like, I'm gonna say 4.5% less black today just because of your shirt.
Oh, I'm in black. Definitely black.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad to have you back, though, Selwyn.
No problem. Great to be here.
Philip, you've gotten a tan.
Yeah, for real, Philip. Jesus, like the dreads, I didn't expect the tan.
You know, I go down to Jamaica. You know, I get a changing life experience for me. So,
sorry. And we've got YouTube heartthrob Mike McG. Check out youtube.com/Mike McG.
Ooh, he's a bad boy now, isn't he? Like he's not. He's like dangerous because YouTube's out there like censoring his shit.
He's a rebel without a cause.
No, it's not censorship. It's just I'm not family friendly, apparently.
Yeah, he's edgy.
Yeah, that edgy video with action figures in it. Oh my god.
You can check out our podcast. This is Most Unorthodox, titled Murder Coffin. You'll find out why it's titled that if you watch the video.
It's edgy.
That was a lot of fun to record, and we may still be in that mindset a little bit going into this podcast. So for safety reasons, probably shouldn't listen or watch this around your kids.
Ever.
So let's get into this. Okay, so tonight's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/3 geeks. It's a lot of fun to listen to
Before
books.
we say anything too fucked up.
I am still listening to it. I'm enjoying it.
How have you not
Oh my
finished
god.
2
years and counting.
The movie's gonna come out before you finish this book.
No,
You
I will
started
have
2
it
years
done
ago.
before the movie.
That is
promise.
bullshit. I don't even
Promise
believe you.
you.
What do you want to bet?
I did just get The Secret History of Twin Peaks. I re-signed up for Audible thanks to audibletrial.com/3 geeks. So I am gonna start.
I
that.
should actually get some Audible in my life, but I'll tell you what. When you finish it, I will get Audible.
Sounds good. I've only got 20 hours left.
You said that last week. You said 20 hours last week. You said that exact number.
I'm rounding. Let me see exactly how many more minutes I have.
Oh no, this is easy.
Wonderful
this
audio.
Is easy. No, I should win something.
Pulling it up.
What
right
happens?
now.
What happens if you don't get Audible before the It movie, or you don't finish the book before the It movie?
I have
out?
24 hours and 13 minutes.
Mike, help me out here. Selwyn, what's a suitable punishment if he doesn't finish the book? He's got to buy my Audible then, right?
I think that's pretty good deal.
I'll buy you a month of Audible. What do I get if I finish it?
No. If you finish it, I'll buy my own Audible.
No, I got to get something too out of this deal.
No, you got to listen to all of it.
Yeah, you got to finish the book.
Yeah, you finally finished this fucking book, and I am the catalyst that made that happen for you. You're welcome.
That should be reward enough for you, sir.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know. Yeah. What's?
I gotta think of
Okay.
something.
No. Yeah. If I'll get your next month of Audible if you finish before the movie comes out, and you'll get my first month if you don't.
I can live with that. That sounds good. What were we gonna talk about? Oh, Jesse T. Usher is the son of Shaft.
Did we? Sorry, did we shamelessly plug the URL enough? Can you throw that out there? Sorry for Audible again.
audibletrial.com/3 geeks. I do want to, thanks for reminding me, I do want to send a quick shout out to Lani Sarem. She was a guest on a special Monday edition of this podcast where we just talked to her for a half an hour. Very nice. Definitely go check out her book, Handbook for Mortals. I guess it's doing really well. Barnes & Noble sold out at a bunch of places across the country. She was very, very nice and a pleasure to have on, and we look forward to maybe talking to her again in the future, but the link to that interview is in the description of this video. So is her Twitter feed. So definitely go check out the book. With all that out of the way,
yeah,
Jesse T. Usher is the son of Shaft. Now you ask yourself, who is Jesse T. Usher? Is he the guy that sings that one song? No, he's not. He is the asshole that was in that shitty ass fucking Independence Day 2 movie. That is it is abysmal.
Whoa,
it is one of the worst things ever. And I'm sorry, I don't know if this guy was in anything else. I have not IMDb'd it or fact checked it or what.
Jason, you can't just. I mean, like you just dropped the bomb. The Jesse T. Usher is in Son of Shaft, and then like you immediately start shitting on Independence Day 2.
Because
I know
all I have.
I know, but like let's there is a Son of Shaft movie.
Well, I'm gonna get into Samuel Jackson in a second.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So I own a video store. Max works there, and every time me and Max work together, and somebody brings in the second Independence Day, I'm like, holy shit, they made a second movie. And then I have the memory of sitting through that movie, and it was so bad. And you ask yourself, why did I watch all of it? Because I was gonna make it through that piece of shit at least once.
Dude, you're gonna.
Did you see it, Mike?
No, but you're gonna hate this news too. Not only is he gonna be in Son of Shaft, but he's apparently in Creed 2, which is filming.
Yes. Oh man.
He's gonna play Ivan Drago's son. I'm sad. Because I mean, Dolph Lundgren, while he may have been good in Rocky 4, I have not seen Rocky 4
But I feel like Dolph Lundgren is gonna come and help him train. He's gonna like become part of the crew.
Now, granted, he wasn't the problem in Independence Day 2, but
because that dude died.
So he's joining Samuel Jackson and Richard Townsend for Son of Shaft. It is about Shaft's son. They have a falling out. They need to come together. They work together. It sounds like a wacky, zany movie, doesn't it?
Sounds like a good day to die hard.
And we all
live free or die hard, or whatever that was. Yeah.
Die hard. No. That was when they killed the die hard. And they're like, look how edgy we are again.
No, they went to Russia, and all it was a father and son arguing with each other. This sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, Die Hard 5, really? We had to go there, too.
Are they going to play some funk?
Dude, I was so excited when I saw Die Hard 5. I went to the 5-movie marathon. Because I went to the 5-movie marathon. I'm watching Die Hard 1. I'm like, yeah!
Wouldn't that just make you less and less
And then
excited?
I watched Die Hard 2. I'm like, yeah! Because I like Die Hard 2. And then I watched Die Hard with a Vengeance. And, you know,
that movie's like, yeah.
That movie's awesome. And Die Hard 4 has some okay moments.
No,
I mean, granted, he's throwing buses. He's a fucking Avenger in that movie.
Okay, now explain to me how it is that you can jump onto an airplane, cause it to malfunction, slide off of the airplane explodes, and you live. How is it possible? This is supposed to be in a world that exists.
Like I said, he definitely took some liberties and was more of an Avenger film with
liberties.
Not John McClane. But I mean, come on, 5 and 4 are nowhere near the same level of bad. And it even started off.
No. 4 is much worse than 5.
They showed like an old John McClane in 5. I'm like, all right, we're gonna see him as an older man.
I mean, 5 has got a better car chase, but you know, it's not like a better movie, really. You know, like, it's just not as bad as 4, which set, you know, a benchmark for shitty fucking Die Hard movies.
But anyway, speaking of Samuel Jackson, he's never shied away from admitting that he takes roles for paychecks. And from what I'm seeing with this, it sounds like this might be one of those roles that he's taking for a paycheck. Because again, Jesse T. Usher has not wowed me in anything he's been in. Granted, he's probably not the problem with the thing that I hated very, very much and wish would die and burn and we could all forget about it. But unfortunately, we can't. And that fucking sequel they set up in that piece of shit. Sorry. I will finally release a review to Independence Day 2 one of these days.
We got to watch it again. I'll watch it with you.
No.
Yes.
I'm done. I'm not ever watching it again. I like Jeff Goldblum.
You haven't seen it yet? All right, me and Sel will watch it with you.
They even made who plays Jeff Goldblum's dad in that movie? And yes, I said Jeff Goldblum because
Judd Hirsch.
They even made Judd Hirsch boring. And Judd Hirsch he's anyway.
We'll watch it with you.
No, I'm not watching.
Yeah, dude.
I barely made it through the first time. I yelled at my wife because she's like, "Turn this off." I'm like, "I'm making it through this movie once."
Watch it again with us. Yes, dude. You watch it again, and then we'll do the review.
You guys have no idea how bad that movie
is. We'll do.
We're talking about Son of Shaft.
We'll do a fucking
Independence Day 2 is worse than Heroes Reborn.
Yeah, you can't get out of it now, Jason. You're the one who brought up Independence Day Resurgence, so we're gonna keep you here.
What is it called when you do the thing along with we'll do the riff track or whatever the fuck.
There you go. Yeah, you'll MST3K it.
Yeah.
I could do a commentary.
Yeah.
You do a commentary. Okay, I might need a bucket to puke in every once in a while.
Come on. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Anyway, Son of Shaft, Max. What do you think of Son of Shaft?
It's gonna be terrible. They already got this kid from that shitty fucking movie that I refuse to watch until The only thing that gets me to watch that shitty fucking movie is Jason's discomfort at watching that shitty fucking movie.
I do owe you. You did watch Trailer Park Shark with me.
The pain
yeah.
the pain of others is what gets you through movies now.
You know, like I mean, I'm weird that way,
Yes.
but yeah. So, yeah, as long as everyone else is miserable, I think the movie's all right. No, so Son of Shaft. Shaft wasn't a good movie. I didn't really think that Shaft was that great. You know, like it's not
Entertaining.
It
was entertaining.
Was
it wasn't
it?
great, but it wasn't anywhere near, of course, the original. But
I don't even feel like the originals are actually all that entertaining. I like the idea of Shaft. I don't really like the execution of Shaft.
Shaft. That's a
You're
hell of a
damn
song,
right.
though.
Oh yeah, dude. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're gonna play some funk, and they're gonna play a shitty movie with some funk over top, I'm down. That's what we've been down for this whole fucking time. But I mean, the movie's gonna be shitty, and they obviously got like fucking high quality caliber actors. And here, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson acts in fucking anything, and this other kid fucking all he was in was Independence Day 2.
And Creed 2.
Well, he's in Creed 2 now, but that hasn't come out yet. So all he's been in is fucking Independence Day 2, and we'll see. We don't know how big his role is in Creed 2. Like, what if he's just like some asshole that gets the shit kicked out of him by Creed?
I'm looking him up on IMDb. So, and talk about Shaft.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that somebody pitched and said okay for an idea of Son of Shaft. Like, why?
Who is the kid?
Why?
Who'd risk his neck for his father, man?
No.
Son of Shaft.
You damn right.
I'm only talking about Shaft Jr.
Sure. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get there, Arcmatter. Don't worry, buddy.
Oh, and it sounds like you ever see that cartoon? What was it?
Arcmatter. We didn't fucking shout out Arcmatter,
Jr.
dude. Oh, you got one job, Jason. You have like 17 jobs.
Podcast isn't over yet. I'm sorry, you guys. We read this story. I got all worked up about Independence Day.
Yeah,
I apologize. Check out our friend Arcmatter at youtube.com/Arcmatter.
You have 17 jobs. We don't ask that much of you. We just ask you to pretty much do everything.
He was in G.I. Joe Renegades. It's a cartoon. Summer Camp.
G.I. Joe Renegades.
Lincoln Heights as Baby G.
Okay.
Hannah Montana as, get this,
as that black guy.
As Guy. No, it didn't say that black guy. It says...
Oh, okay, they can't say black guy legally anymore.
Mike, Arcmatter says he has a ring for you. Oh, you guys are going to get married?
I guess. Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's got a power ring for you. Arcmatter. Those fucking power rings are awesome. I still fucking super dig my Doom mask. That shit is fucking crazy awesome and way better than I expected. And you know, definitely more than I deserve. Thank you so much.
He uses it to scare children on the playground.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, I gonna transition into sad story.
I don't get to talk about Son of Shaft.
I'm sorry. We went on
first of all,
tangents. I got
yeah, let's wrangle it. First of all, I believe Sullen was wrapping up his thoughts on Son of Shaft. If you wish to continue and wrap up your thoughts, Sullen.
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a bad idea.
There we go. I mean, like, yeah, it's just like a story and a storytelling for a different time. You know, like, do we need this?
No, we don't. I mean, I don't care if it's a movie, a TV show, a cartoon.
Oh God, the TV show. Think about that.
My only complaint about this is that title is very misleading. It shouldn't be Son of Shaft. It should be Sons of Shaft, because I'm sure there's more than one illegitimate Shaft kid out there.
Oh, dude, how awesome would it be if it was just like a fucking gang of badasses, like 12 of them?
Oh, and they're coming from different mothers. I mean, come on. It's like,
yeah, dude.
One randomly Asian one.
Yeah, just like
exactly.
Weirdly.
There's the pitch for the TV show.
Yeah, every week it's a different son or a different kid.
Oh God, David Wayne's plays Shaft, of course.
And
Children of the Shaft.
They don't even explain it. Just a complete white person playing Shaft.
No, like you can like go all over the world with it, like because he's Shaft.
Shaft
you know
kids.
Like he's the man. Like he can get anybody, any chick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Shaft babies.
Fucking, you know, yeah.
Shaft Spring. It's like Offspring, except with Shaft.
Oh God,
Mike, your thoughts on Son of Shaft?
I already gave you my thought. It's gonna be bad, but that title needs to change. It's like, no, there's no way there's just one son of Shaft.
Children of Shaft.
Children of the Shaft. That's what it is. That's my thought on it. It'll be dumb. Yeah.
We've lost a few comedy legends this week, and I'm going to present the first one, and then I'm going to let Mike and Selwyn go into the second one. So the world lost Jerry Lewis today, and I spoke about, Batman and my memories of that as a kid. But one of my memories as a kid is watching the Jerry Lewis movies with my dad. We would watch Disorderly Orderly, Nutty Professor, pretty much everything my dad had on VHS at the time, and then conventionally we got on DVD, and we'd watch all of the Labor Day marathons. I love Jerry Lewis so much as a kid, and it's definitely one of those comedy legends that's going to be missed. At least he got to live a long, full life, and that's really all you can ask for in the world. And his episode on Mad About You is hysterical. Max, you got anything to say about Jerry Lewis?
I can't top that. I think we should
move on.
Yeah, we're good on that.
Let's go over to Mr. Mike McG.
Yeah, well, glad he had such a long and successful career in show business. I mean, he was raised in it essentially. I was never a really big Jerry Lewis fan. I did like his Nutty Professor. I was like, yeah, you bought that transformation more than like CGI and bodysuit that Eddie Murphy does in his version. So he was an excellent physical comedian. I liked some of the stuff I saw where he worked with Martin. Honestly, he just wasn't my taste of comedy growing up too much. And when I grew up more and found out he was actually kind of an asshole in real life, I was like, okay. But I'm glad he lived a long, not healthy, but long life, for the most part healthy, and that he was very successful in what he did and was able to kind of set a gold standard in terms of comedy. So, L'chaim! There.
Selwyn, would like to say anything about Jerry Lewis?
I really didn't know much about him. I saw him on the telethons when he was still doing it. Yeah, I mean, that much about him, really. So, still lost a life, sad.
Mike, who else did we lose this week?
Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory was a comedian and especially known for his humor regarding the civil rights time and struggle. And honestly, I grew up listening to a little bit more Dick Gregory than I probably should have, because it was one of those times where I was like, I find this really funny, even though it's too real at times and too true. But that was kind of the genius of it, is that it was testing those boundaries of what you could get away with as a comedian, but still like trying to tell a relevant story through your joke. And again, like he has a bunch of like really awesome kind of short jokes or one-liners. Like one is like, segregation is not all that bad. Have you ever heard of a collision where the people in the back of the bus got hurt? And probably one of his most famous ones. There you go. See, one of his most famous ones. That's fucked up. Well, it's relevant for the time. I mean, he was saying that's during the time. It's like, yeah. But also, one of his most legendary ones is where he tells a story about the waitress in the South who told him that we don't serve colored people here. And he replied, "That's all right. I don't eat colored people. Just bring me a whole fried chicken." Collard greens, for those of you who aren't in the know. For you millennials who are like, I don't get it. So, yeah, I really kind of liked he was very easygoing in his comedy, but wasn't afraid to like tell a very blunt and honest truth about the struggles he witnessed and the period of history he lived through. So rest in peace, Mr. Dick Gregory. And who would want to also add some words?
I didn't really find out honestly about Dick Gregory until maybe about 5-6 years ago, and I've been more on the activist side of him. What I've been seeing most of my videos and everything were, but he's just somebody who's just very much into the civil rights and trying to just speak the truth. And and just his insight on things and everything will definitely be missed. So that's what I know him mostly from. I'm going to go back and learn more about his actual comedy side and everything, because I read his book and everything. But other than that, I've been mostly on the activist side of it. But I do want to go back. But he's somebody, a very big talent, very big heart, and everything will be missed. So.
And I don't really have much to add.
Nah, man, I think these guys covered it. It's rest in peace. That sucks, but
I think that was a nice balance too. Covered the comedy, and then we covered the activism. We covered like the other aspect of his life.
Yep. So good shit.
So Netflix just released The Defenders, and complete transparency, I have not finished the series yet, but I'm going to discuss what I've seen and my thoughts up till that point. It's going to be a non-spoiler review. We will release a spoiler review at some point this week.
You only have 19 jobs, Jason.
What's that?
19 jobs. That's all you have.
I know. You just show up to be on the podcast. I actually write notes usually.
Yeah, I know. We were counting on you for a lot of shit, but it's not that much. So I feel like you should have watched Defenders. This is all I'm saying.
I really like the story so far. I'm really into it. Not as much as I was into the other shows. So Daredevils and Jessica Jones are still my favorites, but I would put what I've seen of the Defenders so far up close to Jessica Jones. I like how they're not forcing them coming together at the beginning. It's all happening more organically. Like in most shows, it happens pretty quick and you see the team up, yay, we're together, let's go. But it's naturally happening. Like their stories are intersecting, and it's really, I think it's well done. Finn is much better in this series than he was in his own series. And I don't know if that's the direction or that he's in it less or what, Max.
No, it's because he's in it less.
I mean, your thoughts on the show.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were just asking me about this specific thing. Yeah, no, it's definitely because he's in it less. That's the answer. His martial arts has gotten better, but I feel like that's only because he's been through the first season now, so he can do everything that he could do in the first season, and now he's working from there. Versus, the first season when he had obviously zero fucking kung fu training at all prior to fucking Iron Fist, and you combine that with his zero acting ability, and you get a pretty shitty Iron Fist. But at least this one can fake kung fu fight a little bit better now. So there's that. He's still the weakest link. I feel like he's the worst part of the show. But I also feel like this show was better than Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Less board meetings?
There's definitely maybe only one board meeting at all.
It's barely a board meeting though, because it immediately goes into a fight. So
yeah. So and they're like, what about a fight at a board meeting? So yeah, it's much better on the board meeting front. Definitely, and it's good. I liked it. I've watched it 1.5 times now. Shut up. So yeah, it's solid. It's definitely solid. I put it underneath, again, both seasons of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. But nestled right underneath there, it's not a bad place to be. It was a good watch. Did you watch any of it?
No, not yet.
All right, so
that was finished Iron Fist, honestly.
Don't even worry about it.
Falling asleep, so
fuck it. Yeah, don't fucking. You can just watch. Seriously, you can just watch Defenders. And you're right there. It doesn't even, you don't miss a beat. Fucking nothing happens in Iron Fist that
isn't explained pretty quickly.
Isn't explained yet very, very quickly in Defenders.
I'll start it tonight.
Yeah, just don't even waste your fucking time, dude.
Mike, your quick non-spoiler thoughts on the Defenders?
Does that have to be quick?
No.
It's fine. It's good. It's okay. It goes by really quick too, and I'm grateful for that, because if it had been more than 8 episodes, I probably would have not enjoyed it as much as I did. It's okay. Yeah, Finn Jones has gotten better, but like Max said, I feel it's because it's less focused on him. Well, it's focused on the Iron Fist mythology more so. That's what the whole plot revolves around. has to deal with Iron Fist's origins and his mythology, but at least Iron Fist himself isn't the lone central figure like he was in his own show, which is sad about that show. But he works well with the other people. Like, that's the thing, is you give him some larger than life characters to work off of and he'll pull out a decent performance. So I was glad to see that at least I could tolerate him more in this setting. Everyone else was fine. There were times when Jessica Jones was getting a little too snarky for my taste, but I get it. It's totally fitting with the character. There were just points where I'm like, okay, he can stop being such an asshole to people now, but okay, whatever. The one thing I took away from is this is the most a Marvel Netflix show has felt like watching a CW DC show. It feels really, and that's not a positive necessarily. It feels really close to the style and pacing of those CW shows, which can be entertaining, but I wouldn't rate them as being like high caliber quality shows. They're entertaining because the cheese factor is high, and I've never really been looking for much cheese factor in my Marvel Netflix stuff so far, aside from Iron Fist. But Defenders, there was some pacing and especially dialogue issues where I was predicting lines of dialogue, and that's not a good thing for my shows. If I can guess what your stinger piece of dialogue is going to be, probably not the best thing because it's been done to death at that point. So it's okay. It goes by really quick and you'll have fun with it, but it's not like the best quality show they've released so far.
Yeah, I think 8 episodes is good. I could have dealt with like one more episode. But I feel like this one was just chock full of action. Like they tried to have some crazy like fight set piece in pretty much every episode, I feel like.
I did like the episode where they're just sitting down eating Chinese food.
Yeah,
that was fun.
No spoilers, Mike. You're spoiling it.
They sit down. It's in the trailer. They sit down and eat Chinese food at one point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not like people are sensitive about that shit. We said no spoilers.
Spoilers. Chinese food is delicious.
No, I thought that was the best Finn Jones did at acting, was in that scene when he was with Luke Cage.
I am loving Netflix's new model, and I've heard that they're new shows every week with quality. And I just watched Atypical before the Avengers. It was 8 episodes. It was a solid show. Defenders is only 8 episodes. No, I said Atypical, and then I was going into Defenders.
No, but you said before Avengers.
You said Avengers.
Oh, sorry. Before the Defenders, and then yeah, so I'm really liking the 8-episode model because it doesn't feel like as much of a chore to get through some shows.
I could go with 10. It could be 10. Like the HBO method, I feel like HBO's been doing it for years. You guys just need to get on board. 10 episodes, not too long, not too short.
Well, no, because now your Game of Thrones has been reduced to 7. They're below the average now.
Look, man, I know. I don't have to like it. It's just how they give it to me, and that's how I gotta get it. But I wish they would have 10 episodes. But again, even in Game of Thrones, like there's a bit of meandering in a 10-episode season. So again, maybe I'm just wrong, but I feel like 10 is a good number, and I like the length of the story that you get in 10 episodes, or what you can do with 10 episodes. But yeah, 8 episodes is cool. There's
usually one more.
They're still good. I mean, like it kind of sucked that Voltron was only 7 episodes. I was a little pissed off about that.
Spoilers too. Sigourney Weaver is really good.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is fucking awesome. This is the problem. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm just leaving that Sigourney Weaver is really good.
She's good. No, it's definitely worth a watch.
Be joining us here in a few moments. We're going to be discussing one of her projects. Let me pull that up real quick. But just killing it. Mike, did you watch the new House of Cards?
Yeah, it's like what, season 5 or something? Is that
yeah, I'm having a tough time getting through it.
Well, yeah, I haven't finished it.
It's because it's boring compared to reality. Like,
that's what I thought it was too.
That's what definitely was for me, was that I'm just like, man, this is amateur. I mean, this stuff right now is amateur hour compared to reality. It's like what Frank's doing ain't that bad, honestly.
Yeah, you wish there was like a criminal mastermind in the Oval Office.
As we slowly back
Like,
into a most unorthodox episode.
Well, no, it's like with House of Cards, you're like, wow, like I can't believe that there's corruption and so much, like deviousness in the Oval Office, and then it's like you look at reality and it's like, wow, I wish there's only that level of corruption and deviousness in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Underworld looks like the better option for your country.
Oh God, I would vote for him in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
That's when you know you're in trouble. And I take back everything I said about Stranger Things because I kept telling everybody I thought the first episode was slow and I was having a tough time getting past it. Holy shit, I'm on like episode 5. The show is amazing.
Oh, that show takes off.
That is really, really good.
I saw the trailer for season 2. If I don't know, but it's just a trailer. So I mean, Stranger Things was a lot of fun.
It was supposed to be a one and done.
Dang. Like, I don't know. Maybe your story's just done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess go for it. They're gonna give you the money, but like maybe you write something, and if it's just that thing, like you don't have to tell the extra story. Like, we don't
go like the American Horror Story route and just tell a completely different story for the new season. Like, just have something else.
Cool too. Like those guys are like, we have this idea, we're gonna make Stranger Things. It's just this thing. We're telling this specific story. Like there's nothing wrong with that and it being over. Like if you don't have to like force something else to happen. And that's where I get worried. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't in the plan. If they had planned to do 2 seasons, then I'm down. The story wasn't
right.
It on, then there's a lot of room for fucking error there.
Should I go with wonton soup, guys? Sorry, I'm ordering food while we're doing the podcast.
Oh, dude, I'm a General So's. I'm a slave to General So's.
Yeah, I'm more of an egg drop soup kind of guy.
Egg drop soup. There we go. All right, sorry.
Sour chicken, I like that.
What other geek news we got?
Sour chicken in the fridge.
Damn it, Mike! I'm in the mood for Chinese food.
Sorry.
The sweet and sour that's still in the fridge at work.
Is it still in the fridge?
Oh yeah, it is. You nasty.
That's from like a few weeks ago. We'll get into that. While we wait for our guest.
I have a delivery.
Yeah, it is.
Steamed dumplings.
Did anyone else watch the DuckTales?
Oh yeah, I saw DuckTales. Speaking of Chinese food, duck.
I kind of dig it. I'm not sure exactly how I feel, but like there's only the 1 episode, so but it's not terrible. I thought it was okay. What do you think?
I like it. I liked it quite a bit. I like that it was taking art style from the Carl Banks stuff, like the Uncle Scrooge comic strip, and it looks like it might have more influence over than the original show. Yeah, I like David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck. Darkwing Duck's supposed to show up at a certain point, so I'm excited about that. If I stick with it,
David Tennant.
It's all right.
I think it's Scrooge's weak sauce.
I didn't mind it. Too, but
it took getting used to because I'm so used. I think it's because you're so used to having that Scrooge McDuck in your head, and it's going to be off-putting. It's like when we have to switch over to another Batman after having so much Kevin Conroy instilled into our brain.
Well, I don't know. Kevin Conroy, I can deal with other people being Batman as long as they're putting a good Batman for. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing a good job, Kevin Conroy just does it better. You can't help that. Michael Jordan plays basketball better than you. LeBron James plays basketball better than you. These are things you just have to deal with. Like, okay. But it doesn't mean you're bad, But yeah, but like I just don't like David Tennant's Scrooge McDuck. It's not that he was the other one. It's just that.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, but I dug him as fucking Kilgrave. guy you're supposed to hate him, but I mean that's beside the point.
You did love hating him
as Kilgrave, and
well, it's just your preference then for the actor in that case. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And again, I just don't like his Scrooge. I think
I like that it's not totally happy-go-lucky like the original show. Like between Scrooge, like Donald and Scrooge kind of hate each other. But for a good reason.
I thought there was too much Donald.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is in the original Uncle Scrooge comic strips, though, is Donald was there as a regular. So that's what they're going for, is that he's going to be a regular participant in the adventures.
I just don't feel like Donald should have, like, long points of exposition.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
a lot of it, I was losing a lot of it in his dialogue because I couldn't understand him sometimes.
Right.
But,
so that was my only thing. I was like, if they're going to have him on the show, like, about Donald Duck is he doesn't actually say many words. He's just always like, yeah, like screaming all the time in his Donald Duck voice. But you know, so right. Was that something? Like, speak up.
Sorry, that's Donald's thing. He loses his temper.
Yeah,
it's always been his thing.
But yeah, he's not like out there fucking 7 days ago. Like, that's not his bag.
The Donald Duck impression. I would love it if you would send us that speech.
Dude, there are videos on YouTube. Maybe still YouTube might not have taken him down for being so horribly not family friendly yet, but there's a guy who does a great Donald impression, and he dubs over like scenes from movies with Donald Duck voice. Like he dubs over Full Metal Jacket with a Donald Duck voice, and you can understand, like Arlie Ermy, like you can understand what he's saying.
Oh, he's Arlie Ermy as Donald Duck. Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And Matthew Modine is Goofy, so it's really funny. He's like, I can't do the Donald Duck voice, but he's basically saying, "Put on your wall face," and you hear the guy doing Goofy go, "Ooh!" Like it's so funny. Like look it up, Full Metal Disney, I think it's what it's called or something.
Full Metal Disney. Oh, that's great. I can dig that for sure.
Now I'm looking forward to the podcast being over so I can go do that.
Oh, man.
Full Metal Disney.
That gives me a T-shirt idea.
It looks like we are going to get a Jetsons live action from ABC.
Like a TV show?
What we do.
Yeah, man. TV show.
Like, what? Do they realize how actually boring the Jetsons is?
I put it right up there with the Flintstones, man. I can't stand that shit. Flintstones, Jetsons, all that stuff was boring as hell back then, and it's boring now.
I love the Flintstones.
I mean, I don't know. I can deal with both of them. I'll watch that shit all day. Like, yeah, give me Flintstones, Jetsons. Give me like the Boomerang channel. But I don't see how you could. You know, again, like I understand what it is. It's not.
I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out what year the Jetsons is supposed to be taking place in to see if we passed that year yet or not. To be like,
man,
did it take place in the year 2000 whatever? And
we have to raise our fucking living complexes above the smog.
No one's going to fact check the Jetsons year that they lived in. But I mean, I even like the Flintstones movie with John Goodman, Rick Moranis, and Kyle MacLachlan,
and fucking Rosie O'Donnell.
I like it. I like it for Kyle MacLachlan just because I'm like, I know he wants to cut loose and be full psychotic, and I like it for Halle Berry too because Halle Berry. Because it's Halle Berry in a loincloth. How can you not like that?
All right, let's welcome our guest, Michele. How are you doing today? Unmute.
Oh, yeah, you have to unmute, I think.
You have to do it on your end. You just click the little microphone. Technical difficulties is something we do very well on this podcast. There we go. How are you doing today?
I was just telling how wonderful you all are, so perhaps that was best to mute. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
No problem. Tell us a little bit.
Whoa.
So you, this is Michele Battlefisher. Is is your last name actually Battlefisher?
Yes, it actually is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it?
Okay,
It's freaking
that's
awesome.
a great
I
angle.
I try.
That means you wait. Hold on, let's not go past that. It means you were born with like the greatest gamer tag.
Yeah, that's true. And like, are you mad like when you try to?
I'm showing my age. I had Atari with ET, so my gamer tag wasn't very important. But I suppose now someone can like bite off of that and use it. But yeah, it would have been wonderful.
Oh man, is you like, yeah, ET, take that, Battlefisher.
I actually had better games than ET, but I was like, I loved ET so much. And I was like, okay, he keeps falling into the little ditch to get Reese's Pieces. There has to be more to it. There was never more to it. So.
Nope. Just getting Reese's Pieces and making flowers grow.
Precisely.
We need more in life, though. Honestly, like whole full life off Reese's Pieces and making flowers grow.
Do they even make Reese's Pieces anymore? I have no idea, but
oh yeah,
they do.
They're still around, but. You done a documentary.
We are presently in production. Yeah, we are.
You want to talk about that a little bit? Like I read I read up a little bit about what you're covering here, but I don't. So yeah, if you wanted to tell us a little bit about the transhumanism.
Oh sure, transhumanism is a movement for people to go beyond human. So the thought is, what we have ain't enough. We can do far better than what we are. So I'm sure you all have heard about cryonics, how individuals are freezing themselves to be unthawed, to come into the later time and go beyond human. There are other individuals that believe that technology can be imputed into our bodies, and that can make us stronger, healthier, kind of like human superheroes, I suppose. I don't know. But yeah, our movie, our documentary actually is interviewing individuals who are actually living transhumanism right now. I mean, these are people who are using their bodies as experiments, essentially. They're putting sensors into their bodies. Oh, my light just came on. Sensors into their bodies. They're paying money out the wazoo to have their bodies frozen. Right now, we will have an individual talking about that whole process. And in the background, you'll see capsules that will have frozen bodies in them. So we're just really excited. I am the producer. He is absolutely no relation to me. But we're just really, really geeked by it. I think that the geek community will just really latch onto this whole idea of, hacking our bodies and putting sensors into our bodies. So this is a whole new feeling of being a person.
All right. It's just yeah, this is blowing my mind a little bit. So yeah, it's like
that is what we want.
Yeah, that's the intent, I believe. It's like
yeah. But see, the thing in transhumanism, we want to even hack your brain. To have super intelligence or super sensory abilities. So it sounds like the Defenders, like in real life. So
sounds like Cyborg. I'm down.
Yeah, it is a lot like Cyborg. Let's bring some Teen Titans into this. Yeah, it is a lot like Cyborg. But let's get real. It's just, these are individuals that are saying, we're not waiting for science, we're not waiting for medicine to tell us that we can, put titanium in our legs right now. These are individuals that are doing it to each other. So there's a whole underground community of people who are, in their minds, they are pioneers, and they really are.
And I don't know, maybe you cover this on the documentary or how much you can talk about now, but isn't that a bit dangerous if they're doing surgery or stuff like that on each other, or experiments? Like, isn't that a bit risky?
Yeah, risk
has
factor.
Anyone gotten seriously hurt or died from any of this stuff? Like, that's.
Well, we also need to keep in mind too that Can you hear my children?
No.
I told them this. What I will say, what I can divulge is certainly there is an uncertainty factor or a risk factor to this. There's risk and uncertainty when you go to a doctor to have a surgery. But what's different in this is individuals are hacking each other. So we have a really hard time knowing who these people are because it's clandestine. They're not just out saying, putting a flyer out saying, let's hack some titanium into your arm. Meet me at the tattoo parlor 9:00 this Friday. I mean, these are individuals who have a same mind. They have the same mind that, bump the risk, so they're doing this. And these are the people that we're interviewing.
Yeah, that's what I was actually curious about, was the focus with regards to these, let's say, call them, these different, you call them hackings, or a little bit
of hacking okay. Or grinders. There are a lot of different terms. But if you can think about it, though, we already hack our bodies. We get LASIK. I mean, we have put implants into our breast. And I mean, to augment. I mean, there are some transformations that we accept. So they're believing this will be accepted as well. And they also believe, why do you even have to die? So they really are fighting death.
Okay. So that's what I was actually kind of wondering, was like, the focus is going to be where they're doing this more for, say, their own idea of like a evolutionary process, more so than for the glamour of it, or so more so than for the...
I can't say because I'm not a hacker. But I will say that there are conferences of like-minded individuals. Like there's Body Hacking Con, where individuals will sit at tables and they'll put little, sensors into each other's arms, or they'll, just support each other in what new hack each person has done. I don't know if one of your friends have hacked themselves. But some of us may hack in the future, and it just may become something that's pretty normal. I mean, plastic surgery was something that was seen to be, blasphemous. We were given a certain appearance and a certain body. Why hack into it? Why not have a bionic eye? Why not?
Interesting. Yeah. It's interesting.
As soon as the FDA is like, "Hey, cool, I'm 100% down," but
that's
a little dangerous for me.
That's a really good point, because none of this that we're really discussing is going through FDA, because FDA and our medical establishment. I will divulge that I am in the medical kind of field, so my approach or my looking at this might be a little different from hackers, but they feel like you're waiting too damn long for us to allow us to even do this. We want to live forever now. I don't want to wait 10, 20, 30 years for FDA approval when we can try to figure out on our own how to, give longevity to our lives. So.
All right, awesome. That's really interesting. What's the documentary going to be called?
Right now, the working title is Transhuman, and our tagline is Going Beyond Human. So some of us are really satisfied with our bodies, but some of us aren't, and this is this population. There's a church of transhumanism. We've interviewed individuals from a church in Florida where their entire dogma is transhumanism, whether that's hacking their brains or trying to live forever. But if you think about it, religiosity is about living forever in another way. Spiritually, they're just like, our bodies are supposed to be here, so we want to live forever right here in the body that you have. So we're really excited. I will not be hacked in any way on film, so don't anticipate that.
And where can everyone find you?
Well, where you can find us, we are at News 2 Share. That's NEWS, the number 2 Share, SHARE. We are also on Facebook, Human, the documentary, if individuals are kind of interested in my work, you can look for M Battlefisher. That's BATTLEFISHER.com. So again, we are in production right now. We also have the academic heads as well. So we have the people who are in that community, and then we have the academic people. So I think there's a little bit for everyone. But if you want to see someone with a bionic eye, or you want to see someone who's put a sensor in their body that vibrates with seismic activity, then ours is the right film to watch.
All
That's
right.
all I'll say.
Michele Battlefisher with the most
Yes,
gamer
sir.
tag of a last name ever. Thank you for being on. It was a pleasure having you. Yeah, check her out. Transhuman, the documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check out Patreon.
Oh yeah. Hit him on Patreon.
Hit it hard. So thank you so much, guys. I'm so glad I caught you at Comic-Con. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Speaking of Patreon, I'm gonna give a quick little tease. Me, Max, and Philip have some cool things that are going on right now behind the scenes. I'm just teasing. Okay, we'll tell them what it is later. It's our 3-year anniversary, Max.
Okay, but like I don't know. It's like let's just not. I'd rather
Cool
not.
things are coming from the Three Geeks podcast. So, in our normal fashion, in about 5 years, you will start to see those new things come to fruition. But
we're still doing this.
Wednesday is our 3-year anniversary. Me, Max, and Philip will record a podcast to release on Wednesday to celebrate the 3 years from our first show.
In honor of our first show, we should record it like 7 times.
Yeah. In honor of your first show, you should choose the topics from your first show and talk about them.
Yeah. That is a great idea. That is what we're going to do. I am going to go back. I'm going to find the topics from the first show. And we'll talk about it. We'll also talk about some of the things that we've enjoyed about doing this for the last 3 years. And we are going to do it audio only like we used to. I'm going to find the old picture because we've done 100 and over almost 150 episodes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because it was Geek News for 50, and now we're on 96 of Three Geeks podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we finally started finding our voice this year, and our stuff's getting a little bit better. So it'll be cool to go back, maybe revisit those topics. I like that idea a lot, Mike. Gonna edit it. I'm gonna do some editing with it, and we will release it on Wednesday. So you'll probably see it like on Thursday or Friday. So be ready for that. It's coming, and we really sincerely appreciate all the people that listen to us, especially on iTunes. We found out that we have a pretty big iTunes subscription base, so thank you guys so much.
Can we talk about transhumanism for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely.
We will.
Wow. Right? Like,
yeah, like my mind was like, okay.
I
mean,
it's too soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're trying to do.
Sometimes.
Are they in somebody's basement? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this sterile?
You should have asked her that.
Yeah, you should have. It should have been a follow-up. No, I mean, it's a legitimate,
I feel like I touched on it without like getting.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like, because also, you know, you don't want her to give away her movie.
Right. That's a legitimate, but you know, that's like a legitimate thing. It's like, what is the focus? You know, is this going to be trying to have a specific angle? Like, that's the thing with the documentary, is like how much objectivity is going to be placed into it, and how much is going to be like, I want to tell this narrative about how this is going to be amazing for people.
Yeah, I mean, she seemed like she was really into it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, I met my neighbors, right? And they're okay people. But I'm not trying to get you to do some surgery on me, bro. Like stay away from me with that scalpel.
Well, that's why. Well, she did mention. She did mention if you're. She did mention it's like, you know, if you're happy with who you are, that's great and all. But this is about following those particular individuals who feel there's a little bit more for them. And it gets into. I'm sure. Hopefully, there's a whole plethora of ethical and, you know, philosophical questioning that can take place in the movie. But that's why you need to see it to find out, I guess.
I'm down. Like, if I can get an extra 2 or 3 fucking teraflops, you know, added to the old brain space so I can actually remember shit. Like, let's do it. But again, you know, like, fucking, Selwyn, it's not gonna operate on me. Like, there's no fucking way.
I'm mine.
There you
I wouldn't let someone brush my teeth.
That's what I'm fucking saying. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna let Philip. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
What about Jesse T. Murphy now? Would you let, or Usher, not Murphy, Usher?
Jesse T. Usher. Well, no, only if he was playing some great surgeon's son.
Because that's what he does.
He has to be playing Will Smith's son from Concussion.
Oh my god.
That guy can't even. He can't even do surgery on his career, let alone my freaking leg. Way to bring it back full circle, Max.
Yeah, he needs a transhuman something into his acting talent, because if he can do something to boost that up, that would be best for all. And Son of Shaft, that Oscar award-winning, soon to be Oscar award-winning movie, I'm sure.
You joke about that now, but just wait a couple of months. The nominees are
anything can happen. Anything can happen.
That's right. Anything can happen. And it can happen at audibletrial.com/3geeks. Go to Audible Trial. Get your audiobook. Listen to it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Audible. They got 180,000 titles to choose from. At 179,000, 180,000 titles to choose from. All you gotta do is get a 30-day free trial. Let them know we sent you. That's 3geeks. audibletrial.com/3geeks. Like, comment in this video. We like reading your comments. We enjoy them. We like the likes.
Tom
don't
Cruise
like
is
the
hurt.
dislikes. They make me sad. But if you're going to be an asshole and dislike this video, at least leave a comment and tell us why. Because when you just hit dislike, that just messes with my head. I'm like, what are they not like? They didn't tell us.
Yeah, there's a bunch in there to not like. We just want to know specifically what you didn't like.
Yeah.
So that way we can keep on doing it to piss you off even more.
Right. It was like, hey,
we're going to shout you out.
No,
I mean, that guy that called me Jewish, we shouted him out.
Yeah, but he was just so blatantly wrong, though. Is it because your hat's backwards, maybe, that he thought you were Jewish?
Jewish people wear their hats backwards?
Well, I mean, because it's like a yarmulke in that you can't see the bill coming out of the back. That's the only thing I can think.
I'll have to ask Ryan.
I mean, the guy's obviously dumb. I'm just saying. Like, I'm trying to see where his head was at. I'm trying to get to that weird, dumb headspace.
Well, that's why you need to have a procedure done so you can hack into someone's brain.
Hey, again, like once 35 people have all had this procedure done, and you wait 5 years and they're not fucked up from it, then maybe that's when we can start talking about this stuff. But I'm saying, like, I wow to these people who are getting this stuff done, because
come on, Max, be a pioneer. Come on.
No, I don't pioneer. I don't jump out of perfectly good planes.
Dude,
I'm not jumping off a perfectly good bridge.
Jason's giving you a sacrifice by having to sit through Independence Day Resurgence again. The least you could do is volunteer for one of these.
See, for a second, though, I thought maybe I'd get my brain hacked, and so I would not remember Independence Day Resurgence. But then again, I would get my brain hacked and not remember watching it. And I'd be like, holy shit, Independence Day has a sequel. And then I'd put it in.
And you do it again. You just do the horror. It would be a repetitive cycle. You'd be caught in a time loop forever.
Yep, you delete it from your memory. You're like, that was terrible. I'm deleting it from the memory banks. click. Oh, hey, look, Independence Day 2.
He's gonna be like 95 years old in bed, be like, oh my god, they finally made a sequel. Oh, damn it.
Fucking Johnny T. Usher, whatever the fucking dude's name is, he's gonna be like 84 years old.
Johnny T. Usher.
All of this was audibletrial.com/3geeks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We sell shirts.
We're not going to talk about Tom Cruise?
The comment, that's from like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
What happened to Tom Cruise?
He got injured on Mission Impossible 6, which pushed the movie back 3 months.
Hey, Tom Cruise, you're fucking 55 years old. Maybe stop doing your own stunts.
Well, feel better, Mr. Cruise, you crazy fuck.
I can't wait to see you run again, Tom. Run again.
No, we've seen enough. You've ran long enough.
Watch.
I want to thank our guest, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on. I will add the links to all of her social media and stuff to the description of this video. From all of us at 3 Geeks Podcast, have a great night. And tune in Wednesday for a pre-taped awesome show from all of us.
Happy anniversary.